In this section, we'll focus on one of the most important qualities of a great leader, having the courage to make unpopular decisions and gut calls. We'll address the benefits of having the courage to make unpopular decisions and gut calls, what prevents leaders from doing this, and how leaders can find the confidence to make these calls when they must be made.
The courage and the confidence to make unpopular decisions and gut calls is the stuff of great leaders. There will always be times when you must make hard decisions. For example, letting people go, cutting project funding, or closing a plant. These are difficult choices that you have to be prepared to undertake. They may be unpopular, but good leaders can take it because they are making the decisions for good reasons. Much has been written about the mystery of gut calls, but it's really just pattern recognition. It has to do with making hard choices based on historical knowledge. You've seen something similar many times before. The facts may be incomplete or the data limited, but the situation feels very, very familiar to you. Leaders are faced with gut calls all the time. For example, you're asked to invest in a new office building, but while visiting the city, you see cranes in every direction. The deal's numbers are absolutely perfect, you're told, but you've been here before. You know that overcapacity is around the corner, and the perfect investment is about to be worth 60 cents on the dollar. You've got no proof, but you've got a real uh-oh feeling in your stomach. Leaders must pay attention to these gut feelings before making a decision. They are telling you something important. Leaders who have the courage to make unpopular decisions and gut calls are critical to the success of the organization because solutions can be achieved more efficiently and issues won't build into an unresolved mess. In fact, one of the reasons organizations run better with leaders who are able to make the tough calls is that their teams are inspired by the energy and passion they see, and the members will be emboldened to make courageous decisions of their own.
For most of us, making tough calls requires that we fight our natural tendencies, and we always wish we had more information. We want to seek consensus. We want to be popular. But being a leader is not a popularity contest. It's about doing what's right and moving the organization ahead. This doesn't mean you don't seek input. Of course you do. We spent a lot of time discussing this in previous sections. Obviously, tough calls can lead to complaints and resistance. Your job is to listen and explain yourself clearly, but move forward. Do not dwell or cajole. You are not a leader to win a popularity contest. You are a leader to lead. There's no need to run for office. You're already elected. Listen to the following audio where Jack discusses the absolute necessity of making gut calls.
Gut is nothing more than pattern recognition, which means you've seen it before. You've been experienced it in some form or another. Gut, to me, is extremely valuable on deals, on decisions to invest, because you get these phony presentations about an investment. Have you ever seen one that had a low DCRR? They always have huge returns. The papers are done beautifully. The kids all went to the same school and got an MBA, so they run the Excel spreadsheets the exact same. And they're always 20+% returns. So there, for example, a guy is showing you a great real estate office building deal in Chicago, and you land at O'Hare and start driving into town, and you see nothing but cranes on office buildings. Say, maybe this isn't the right time. And that may be a bigger decision maker for you than the charts you're looking at. On people, on the other hand, I think your gut's pretty bad a lot of the time. Because you hire people based on your own personality, based on certain smell, feel. I think you want a lot of opinions on that. I hired, when I was young, I started out going to the University of Massachusetts. So whenever we could get a Harvard or Yale, hire them. Because I had more dummies from those places than you can imagine. So without question, I mean, you need more and more input on that. And so I find when I started in business, my batting average was less than 50% on hiring. When I retired, it was not over 80. It's a hard job. Getting people into a job is very, very hard. And so your job is to get as much input from those around you, those that have worked for them, those that have been beside them, to really get a feel for that. So I say, gut's great on deals. You might miss a few, but gut's great on deals. And learning a lot more about people, more analytical, by interviewing is better on people.
Courage to make tough calls isn't about fearlessness or reckless abandon, and it's certainly not about not caring how your decisions will affect others. It's about a willingness to move forward despite the risk of being wrong. Courage is intimately connected to the traits of edge and execution that we discussed in Section 6. Someone who has edge knows when to stop assessing and make tough calls. Indecisiveness will keep your organization in limbo and may be a fatal flaw. One way leaders can make useful gut calls is during the hiring process that we discussed in Section 5. Pay attention to your gut during the hiring process to ensure you feel good about the candidate. The more you hire people, the more you recognize patterns of great employees. Let's say you meet a candidate who has all the right stuff. His resume is perfect, prestigious schools, and great experience. His interview is impressive, firm handshake, good eye contact, smart questions, and so on. But something nags at you. Maybe he's moved around a lot. He's just had too many jobs in too few years without a plausible enough explanation. Or his energy seems too frantic. Or one previous boss said nice things about him, but didn't sound as though he really meant them. And you're left with that uh-oh feeling in your stomach again. Don't hire the person. You've been made a leader because you've seen more and been right more times. Listen to your gut. It's telling you something. Gut calls are critical when making hiring decisions. You ignore them at your own peril. Leaders also need to assemble teams of smart people who are gutsy themselves. Surround yourself with these people. Lean on them heavily for their knowledge and advice. Make sure everyone in the room comes at problems from a different angle and works toward concrete decisions and results. And don't forget, leaders can make hard calls and still not get over the finish line. Being able to execute is a critical skill. Put decisions into action and push them forward to completion, despite the obstacles. Leaders who can do this know that winning is about results.
Leaders can show courage in making unpopular decisions and gut calls in the following ways. Face hard decisions head on. Set deadlines for making decisions. Assemble teams of the smartest, gutsiest people you can find. Pay attention to your gut when hiring people. And remember to execute following decisions. You might be noticing that the Welch Way leadership principles are all aimed at clearing out the clutter of decision-making and helping you to build and improve your team, rally them around the vision, and get everyone involved in the process. This improves speed, saves time and money, and helps build trusting relationships, all while making work challenging, exciting, and fun. In short, this is a recipe for winning and building your business beyond your wildest expectations.